Hey everyone. Gonna wait for people to get on. I will probably mention this again later, but I don't know how long this live is going to be. I've been fighting a headache all day, but I wanted to do my live today, and at least chit chat with you guys for a little bit. I know I did, because I did promise that I would be going live every Saturday, but it may not be for as long tonight because I'm ready for bed. My head's hurting. I did a lot today. I woke up at like 6:30 this morning because now that I wake up to get my kids up early for school, I used to wake up at 8 or 7:45, and then I'd wake my kids up at 8 for school. But now that my daughter is in middle school, she's got to get up at like 7. So I get up at 6:45 every morning. So I was up pretty early this morning because just my internal clock. And then I worked on a few of my cups this morning. I worked on some keychains this morning. And then my mom came around 10 to pick up the kids because she is taking them just for the night and then bringing them home tomorrow evening. And then my stepson, we took him to his brother's birthday party today at an arcade at a mall. And then me and Josh just kind of hung around the area because it was like an hour away. My son is in high school now, and the bus comes at 6:50 a.m. Yes, my stepson is in high school, and his bus comes around 6:52. But luckily, I don't have to get him up. My husband he has an alarm that wakes him up, but my husband gets up with him in the morning. So, but normally when he's up and my husband's up and they're rustling around the kitchen is when I get up. But yeah, so we did like a little like window shopping today around that mall. It was like a mall, but not. Hey Kelly. It had like a whole bunch of like flea market type stores in it, which was really weird, but hey Becca. But then when I was there, I saw this like eyebrow threading place, and I was like kind of interested in seeing just what the price was. And then I was like, oh my gosh, an eyebrow threading is only $12. So when my husband went, because we originally were going to just drop him off at the arcade and then just do whatever. My husband was like, oh my gosh, this arcade's so cool. I want to play games. And I was like, I absolutely do not want to do that. So when my husband went in to play some of the games, he paid for me to get my eyebrows threaded today. So I'll show you guys. I didn't get the tint though, because the tint was $20. And I was like, So I might end up tomorrow just with the tint kit that I have, just tint my brows. But I think she did a really good job. It hurt. It hurt. Like, it was like plucking your eyebrows, but like times 100, because the threading rips out like, instead of 1 at a time, it rips out like 12 or 15 at a time. And she had me like, she was like, can you like stretch the skin from here to here? And I was like, okay. Just because I was like, I kept flinching and stuff. And she was like, I was just going to ask if it hurt. Yes. And then she asked me, she was like, is this your first time? I was like, yes. And she was like, I can tell. But yeah. And when we were like on our way to the mall to drop my stepson off at the party, is when my headache started. So I've been fighting this headache all day. When we got home, and we also went to this like A1 Steakhouse Hibachi bar place for lunch. Oh my god, it was so good. But when we got home, my headache was really bad and I just laid down to take a nap. And I didn't take a very long nap. And it didn't help very much. And then, what did I do after that? I got up and I went to like 3 stores looking for little mini crowns because I have a cup order where I'm making the Evil Queen. The cup's all done, but I need to put a mini crown on the lid for a lid topper. And I could not find many, like, small crowns. Just a crown like this big. Like, couldn't find them anywhere. Like, I thought they would be maybe, like, in party favors or something. Just as, like, I don't know. Nope. I looked at Hobby Lobby first. I looked at, there was another store that I looked at. Then Dollar Tree didn't have them. Five Below didn't have them. Target didn't have them. And finally, I just ended up buying like a pack of 12 on Amazon for like, I think it was like $8.99 or something like that. It wasn't too expensive. But yeah, so I got those. Do you have a Party City store or is that Canadian? We do. I didn't even think of that. But Party City's like kind of out of the way. I was nowhere near Party City when I was looking for them. But yeah. And I also was looking for like a little Hello Kitty figurine, which I ended up finding those at Five Below. It was a pack of 4 that I got for $5. And they're like this big. And I'm sticking one of them in a different lid topper for a Hello Kitty cup. So I figured I've got 3 extras that I can do for other Hello Kitty cups. So that wasn't a bad deal. So I went and got those. And then when I was at Dollar Tree, I found these like hands, skeleton hands that were like maybe like this big that I thought would look really nice as lid toppers for some of my cups too. So I bought 2 packs of those. I bought one in like traditional colors and the other ones are glow in the dark. And then I came home and laid down again because my head was really hurting at that point. And I kind of got like a little bit of a nap in. And then my friend Jess called and we were on the phone for like 3 hours. And we just got off the phone like 20 minutes ago. And then I was like, it's getting late. I need to go live. So, and while we were talking, I was working on like putting my earring studs on earring cards. And then I put like a top coat on my stitch keychains, which I made traditional stitch, and then I made the pink stitch. I don't know what her name is. Sounds cool. Sorry, your head hurts though. Cold cloth in the back of your neck sometimes. I'm kind of kicking myself. Which I can probably take it within the hour. I know what works for my headaches. It's this like dual action Tylenol Advil thing. Works like a charm. This morning, I have a tooth that's like in a lot of pain. So I went on an antibiotic just in case there was like an infection or something. I have an appointment coming up to get them extracted, and I didn't want them to, at the extraction, be like, oh wow, this is really infected. You're gonna have to wait, and we're gonna have to put you on an antibiotic. So I just went on one, just to be on the safe side. And she prescribed me naproxen for pain, which is like an NSAID, I think it's pronounced, which is like in the ibuprofen family. So if I'm taking that, I can't take anything with ibuprofen ingredients in it. So I took one of them this morning, and it kind of takes away the pain, but not completely. Like, she was like, this is like just a really strong ibuprofen. And even the 800 milligrams ibuprofens don't touch my headaches when I get headaches. It's just the dual action stuff, which is the Tylenol and the Advil. So I took the naproxen this morning, and I started getting a headache, and I was like, I can't take my headache medicine because it's in the ibuprofen family. And you can't take that much ibuprofen. It's not good for your liver, all that kind of stuff. So I had to wait until 12 hours. And I took it at like, I want to say like 9:30 this morning. So it's what, 9:30 now? Yeah. So I can take it as soon as this video's over, or this live's over. I should take it now, but I would have to run inside. What is that? There's a motorcycle. I'm gonna have to talk loud because he's got his radio on and music's playing, and I don't want this to get demonetized. But there's a motorcycle going down the street with a loud radio on. But yeah. So I think from now on, I'm not gonna take the naproxen because it doesn't work any better than my other the stuff that I normally take for pain. So I've had naproxen prescribed for migraines, and it didn't work for me. All it made my stomach sick. I wonder if the naproxen's what gave me the headache, because I started getting the headache like a half an hour to an hour after I took the naproxen. And I took the naproxen yesterday, and I had kind of a headache too. So I think I'm just going to stop taking the naproxen and just take my dual action stuff. It's going to sound weird, but mine all works great for headaches and toothaches. Really? Huh. It's past 4 a.m. here, so yeah, it's late, but I waited for the live to point out how good you made me look on that cup with my pet dragon. Oh! Do you like Maleficent? Hey, Bobby. I love how that cup came out. Like, I'm super excited about that one. The colors, like, came together perfectly on that one. And right now, for my non-customer order cup, I'm working on the Starbucks cup now. So I'm super excited. I kind of looked up like techniques for like coffee cups. So I spray painted the whole cup like this caramel coffee color. Then I'm going to tomorrow morning take white to the top and kind of ombre it down a little bit, and then I'm going to cover it in epoxy and then use my wood color. Since those are like my browns and stuff, I'm going to use my wood color alcohol inks and my whites, and I'm going to make this like swirl to make it look like swirled coffee with the creamer in it and all that stuff. And then gonna put the whipped cream on the lid and stuff like that. So I'm excited. And then I'm gonna do a caramel drip from the rim, and then put the Starbucks logo on it. Hey, Noah's super mommy. Yes. I couldn't end the day without doing my live. I was thinking about canceling it because of my headache, but then I was like, I've been going for this long, and I just talked with Jess on the phone for like 3 hours, so I was like, I gotta do my live. I just wanted to let you know that I love my Chucky Tumblr. Oh, I'm so glad. And thank you. After my live, I'm gonna take my my meds that work really well for headaches. It's like this dual action Advil Tylenol thing. But it's the only thing that I've ever taken that touches my headaches and gets rid of them. So I should have brought it in here with me, but I didn't realize that it had been 12 hours since I took my naproxen. So home care came at 7 this morning to clean the exit site from the port they took out on Tuesday. Have a slight infection. Oh no! But went out at noon and got to watch two grown women fight over Starbucks cups. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fight over Starbucks cups. Although Starbucks cups are pretty popular. Was it the Halloween ones? I heard they were like really popular this year. That's crazy. And I'm sorry that you have an infection. That really sucks. Yeah, it was sad and hilarious at the same time. I bet. Like, it's pretty pathetic to fight over Starbucks cups, but I'd be sitting there laughing at them. Oh, there go the crickets. I know, they're loud. It's like right there. Man, I'm so tired. I could just lay down and fall asleep right now. That means it is still warm weather. That makes me happy. It is during the day, but at night, it has been getting so cold. Like, I'm a little chilly right now. And normally when I go live, the last, like, bunch of times that I've gone live in my camper, I was, like, sweating bullets. Today, I'm chilly. I was like, I should have brought my sweatshirt out here. Go get some sleep. I will. I'll definitely be sleeping right when I'm done this live. I've been working really hard too, and it's been making me tired. In a minute. It's only a mild infection. She said we caught it in times. No ER or daycare trip. Antibiotics. Home care. Ooh. For a couple of more days. Just make sure it clears up. Oh, well, I'm glad that it wasn't bad. And that they can treat it and get rid of it. And hopefully that's the last. I thought mommy was talking to me because I'm yelling here about crickets. No! She was telling me to go get some sleep because I'm tired. The funny thing is, like, crickets are kind of relaxing, like, when I'm awake and, like, doing something like this. But if I'm trying to sleep and I hear the crickets, it bothers the heck out of me. I cannot sleep to that. But the funny thing is, I have to sleep with my TV on, and it has to be like a show that I'm not like super into watching. Like it has to be like a show that I've seen like a million times, and I'm not going to get into it and like stuff like that. But I can't hear any other noises. If someone else has their TV on, it bugs the heck out of me. If someone else is taught, like, it has to be strictly my TV with my show. It's really weird. Me and my husband have to have a fan on when we sleep. That's my husband. He has to have his fan on, his air conditioner on. Like, he needs his room like super cold to be able to sleep. Me, I cannot sleep if it's super cold. I actually sleep with not when it's really hot. This whole heat wave thing, I've been sleeping with just a light blanket, but I have, now that it's getting colder at night, I have 2 comforters that I sleep with. And sometimes in the winter, I'll even sleep with 3 comforters. It's crazy. How come the crickets bother you but not the TV? I have no idea. I've never been able to figure that out. Every other noise, doesn't matter what it is, any other noise will bug the heck out of me when I'm trying to sleep, except for my TV. Every once in a while, my TV will bother me and it'll be a little too loud, and I'll have to like turn it down like so low that it's like a whisper. But yeah, like we had road construction, I want to say like 6 months ago, and the noise was so faint, but I could hear this like buzzing noise. It was like of the like whatever it was machine, but it was really like low, but I could still hear it, and it was driving me nuts when I was trying to sleep. Like, I kid you not, any other noise drives me crazy. The hairdryer puts my son to sleep after a bath after school. Aww, that's so sweet. My husband needs a TV and a fan. I use earplugs. But I have to say the good drugs they gave me. And I didn't hear anything. Aww. I need quiet, but during cold weather, fan heater is my lullaby. Yeah, the TV is my lullaby, and it can't be music either. It has to be like a show or a movie, like a Disney movie. I'll nod off reading sometimes. I do that too. Or if I'm watching like a relaxing YouTube video, or like sometimes I'll be on TikTok watching videos and scrolling, and my eyes will start getting heavy. Let's talk about sleep. Because I'm going to be so tired. It's okay. I can stay up for a few more minutes. Only one earplug to make me feel as if I'm underwater, because you can hear your breathing and it makes me crazy. That is weird. Okay, so funny story. When I went to um on an airplane to visit Melissa in Florida, the cheap chick, she actually sent me from Amazon these earplug things. They're like called earplanes, and you're supposed to put them in your ears for like takeoff, and when what is it called? Landing. Oh my gosh, I can't think right now. And I normally don't wear earplugs, but when I put them in, like, oh, it was such a weird like noise. Like, you're right. It does make you feel like you're underwater, and you can hear like your breathing and everything. And when you talk with them in, oh my god, it sounds so weird. But it did help with like the pressure and the like loud airplane noise of takeoff and like touchdown. I'm not a big fan of earplugs. And it also is weird. I don't like earbuds either. They make everything sound weird too. And I can never get them to stay in my ears right. I don't understand people that wear like AirPods and stuff like that. Like, how do you get it to sit in your ears without like falling out with every move that you make with your head? I prefer the headphones that go over your ears. They do the job. It's just I don't like being underwater phobias, you know. Aw. I hate earbuds. I'm an old school big cushioned earphone. We are too. Like, my husband wears the big earphones that cover his head, and my stepson does too. And my daughter had earbuds too, and she was like, I don't like them, they don't stay in my ears. So I got her the over the ear ones too. And same with my little one voice. But when I was on the plane, I didn't realize that you needed like to wear headphones. They wouldn't let you watch the movies and stuff without headphones. So I actually got not yelled at, but told like you need to use headphones or you have to shut that off. So I was like, oh, do you provide headphones? And they didn't, but the lady like happened to have a pair on her that she gave to me, but they were the earbud ones, and I was like, But I used them anyway because I could not go that entire flight without watching something. My anxiety was just too high for that. And then I saved them for my flight home. Oh my god, I can't believe I caught you live. Hello. Hey, Ketavor. Did I say that right? What's the time in Australia? I'm ready at what day is it? What's the time where you are, Boo? Is that, you said like what, 3 or 4 a.m.? That's crazy. 11:46. Oh. Sunday near, oh, 11:46 in the afternoon. I was like, you're only like 2 hours ahead of me. But no, you're a whole half a day ahead of me. Almost 5 a.m. Holy moly. Have you not gone to bed yet, or are you up really early? Global live tonight, US, Canada, UK, and Australia. I know, right? That is crazy. Hi from New York in Yorkshire. Hi from York in Yorkshire, UK. Hey, JJ. There are a lot of people from all over. That's really cool. What time is it in the UK? Is it a different time in Canada too, or are you on Eastern time? It's 2:47 a.m. Holy moly. It is 9:47 where I'm at. Do you know how the cricket makes that noise? Yes, they rub their legs together. It's 9:48 p.m. here again. Oh, so you're on the same time as me. 8:48 here in Minnesota. Minnesota, right? That's MN, or is that Maine? Becca is a worldwide phenomenon. Viewers across the globe. Yes, Minnesota. I thought so. Ontario, Canada. Ontario, I went to school for a little bit in Ontario. For like 3 months. But I didn't like it. And I ended up getting kind of kicked out. But not really kicked out, just kind of asked to leave. It was in, I think it was in Ontario. Pretty sure it was Ontario. I couldn't tell you like the surrounding cities. I just don't remember. But I don't even remember what the school was called. It was in London, Ontario. Right? Is that a place? London, Ontario? I feel like that's what it was called. The city that I was in. Or the town. It's 6:49 p.m. here. Nice. We're California. And I stayed in, it was like called like a boarding house, where like it was like this big house with like all these rooms with like, some of them had single beds, some of them had bunk beds and stuff like that. And it was right across this like really big park where like it wasn't a skate park, but there were a lot of kids that would skate there. And then I lived like catty corner to a Starbucks, but I'm sure Starbucks are like everywhere. So maybe McMaster's University. No, I forget the name. It was like, I think it was a high school, but it was a boarding school. There is a London, Ontario. Yeah, pretty sure it was London, Ontario. And it was a boarding school. But I forget the name of it. Like, I completely forget. Like, I'm drawing such a blank that, like, I don't even remember, like, any inkling of what it was called. But I can picture, like, the whole area in my brain. Like, I was directly right across from that park. And then, like, over here was the Starbucks. And I would go to the Starbucks every morning and get a coffee. And then once a week, I would get, like, at the Starbucks. No. It was right next to the Starbucks. There was, like a store similar to, like, a 7-Eleven or a Turkey Hill. It was, like, a convenience store. And I would buy a pack of cigarettes there because I used to smoke when I was in high school. And I would always complain because the cigarettes, when I was in high school, were only like 5 something a pack. And when I went to Canada, they were like 10 something a pack. So I was pissed off that it was like double the price. Like, I went on a full off the rails experience when I went to Canada because my parents weren't there. I was 19. Yes. I went to boarding school when I was 19 because I was held back in 4th grade because I was like ADHD and like learning differences and stuff. And I went to a different school to like help with that, and they held me back there in 4th grade. So I repeated 4th grade, and then I dropped out my senior year because I was failing so bad that they told me I would need to go to summer school to be able to graduate. And I was like, I am not wasting my summer. So then I have a summer birthday. So, I was 18, my first graduating year. So then when I repeated 12th grade, I was 19. So I was 19 when I went to Canada, and 19 is the legal age in Canada for buying cigarettes and alcohol and getting a piercing and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as I got to Canada, I realized I was legal for everything. So the first thing I did was got my tongue pierced. The second thing I did was buy alcohol because I was not allowed to buy alcohol in the States because in the States you have to be 21. So I just went full ham and had the biggest rebel stage of my life when I was there, and that was one of the reasons why I was asked to leave the school, because I was not showing up to my classes, I was sleeping in class, I was skipping classes, I was drinking and smoking, and yeah. Becca unleashed Canada, yes. Our beer is stronger, but your cigarettes are stronger. Glad to finally catch a live. Hey, Anita. Yes, that was, and that whole year up until I think like right after I turned 21, or maybe no, that year up until I got pregnant with my daughter. I was 24 when I got pregnant with Brooklyn. That was the biggest like rebel phase of my life. I was partying constantly. I was I wasn't doing drugs or anything like that. It was more drinking. I was a big partier and did a lot of stupid things in my life. And then I got pregnant with Brooklyn and I quit smoking, I quit drinking. And yeah, I never looked back on that or really ever missed it. So, hey Jennifer. Australia, legal age is 18. Nice. Here, I don't know if it's, I think it's all of the United States. They just upped the, like, tobacco age. I want to say in, like, I don't know when they did it. I know it was before 2020. But now everything's 21. Drinking and buying cigarettes and tobacco products and all that. You have to be 21. When I turned 18, it was 18 to buy cigarettes and all that stuff, and then 21 to drink. But now they made everything 21. And you have to be 25 to be able to rent a car. Except at Enterprise. I think at Enterprise you can be younger. Because when, or maybe not. No, you had to be 25 to rent a car. Because back when I just turned 21, I started dating this guy who lived in Pittsburgh. So we were 5.5 hours apart. And when he came to see me, he would have to borrow his friend's car because he had a piece of crap car that would not be able to drive here for 5.5 hours. It would, like, break down on the first hour. So he had to borrow his friend's car because he was like, I'm not old enough to, because he was only 1 year older than me. So he was like, I'm not old enough to rent a car yet. That's how I know that. Is pot legal in your state? Yes and no. So medical marijuana is legal in my state, but not recreational. So you have to have a medical marijuana card to be able to get it in my state and legally use it. And it is legal to consume it. It is legal to use it, like, in an oil or and like a vape pen, but it is not illegal to smoke, like, bud flower. But people do anyway. 19 here. My kids got taken away. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think they might be, though, working on what? I think they might be working on, like, signing something to get it to be recreational here, but I think, like, it has something to do with, like, our governor or something. Just doesn't, they don't want to make it, like, fully legal here. We women should be good at measuring stuff, right? Well, I need to order some pants, leggings, and I'll be wrapping myself in that measuring tape like a cat in yarn and still won't get it right. Aw, I just guesstimate. Leggings, I'm like, okay, I'm a small. That's usually what fits me. Smalls for leggings, because mediums, I'm short, and mediums get, like, way too baggy around, like, the ends. And when they start to, like, stretch up here after wearing them for, like, 2 days, they get really loose, and I don't like that. I like the compression of leggings. Hi, Becca. Hope you had a good day. Unfortunately, my brother passed away today. Oh, I'm so sorry, Renee. I had a decent day. I've been fighting a headache all day, but other than that, I've had a pretty good day. But I'm really sorry for your loss. Maybe a good night's sleep will help you. Yes, I'm hoping so. I'm definitely going to go to sleep as soon as I get off of here. And I'm going to take my my dual action Advil Tylenol, because that's the only thing that ever like touches my headaches. I made the mistake of taking naproxen this morning, which didn't really do much to help my tooth, because I have really bad tooth pain, and that is what the doctor prescribed me. Said that naproxen would be stronger, and it's not. And I'm kind of wondering if the naproxen even caused the headache, because I was fine up until I took it. Like an hour after I took the naproxen, I started getting the headache, and then yesterday I took the naproxen too, and I had a slight headache yesterday too. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna stop taking that. Don't you get I do. This one is not quite a migraine, but if I were to like sit there and like obviously I'm looking at my phone now and reading stuff, but like if I were to really like sit there and just play in my phone and stuff, it would definitely turn into like a full blown migraine. But I was on the go today, but I had times where I just laid down and just rested. So it didn't get too out of control. But I'm also extremely tired too. I woke up at like 6:30 this morning. Yeah, the light from the phone will intense them. I'm terrified to go to the chiropractor. I've heard such awful stories about things that could go wrong at the chiropractor, and I definitely don't want to risk that, because when things can go wrong, it usually goes wrong for me. And, I'm kind of bummed. So, I know I explained in my last live about my dentist appointment how I had to reschedule for Thursday the 21st. Well, they called me, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday was Saturday. They called me on Friday and told me that they needed to reschedule again. And I was like, oh, why? And she goes, our dentist that we had is no longer with us. So we have to reschedule all of his appointments. That's like the fourth dentist within like a year and a half, 2 years that they've changed. And I was kind of bummed when they changed. Okay, when I first started going to that dentist, they had this one dentist that didn't really care for. Then the next dentist, he was awesome. I loved him. Okay, I lied. 3 dentists. They changed. Okay. So this will be my 4th dentist. The second dentist that they had, I really loved him. He was amazing. Always made my anxiety like come down a bit. And the dental hygienist that worked with him, there was one that I like loved too. And like when they were like together, they were such a distraction to me that it took my mind off what was going on in my mouth. Like, she would talk and then he would talk. They would start like cracking each other up, and it was like watching like a sitcom, like watching them. So like it helped ease my anxiety. And then when he left, I was kind of like bummed out, because when I went this like last time, not this, when I went the day that I got this tooth pulled, I noticed it was a different dentist, and I was like, oh, when he was like doing the x-rays and stuff, and he's okay, but like not funny like the other dentist. So like I was kind of bummed about that. But now I have no idea who my dentist is going to be. So I'm kind of like nervous, because what if this guy is like, I don't know. But we'll see. And basically my dentist office is like, okay, so I have state insurance, so there aren't very many dentists that take my insurance that I can go to. So my dentist is like the stepping stone dentist for like people that, you know, are getting jobs like right out of schooling. And once they get a better job offer at a better dentist office, they take it. So that's what keeps happening, is once they've worked at, you know, the state insurance dentist, they're like ready to move up the chain. So that's why my dentists keep changing. I've been going to one since 9 or 10. I've not slept for 48 hours. Oh my goodness, Renee. You definitely need to get some sleep too. My son goes to you. It's understandable. Just breathe, dear. Finding the right dentist or doctor is a job. Yeah. It took me a while. Okay. So my first dentist that I ever went to in this area, awful. Extremely nice person, but an awful dentist. Like, a lot of his work was really shoddy in my mouth that my current dentist, like my current dentist office, had to fix. So, I will never go back to that one. And I keep going to this dentist office because even though, it takes forever for them to answer their phones, it takes like forever, like they're always double booked and stuff in the evenings, and not double booked, like overbooked. Like, it's crazy. I will never switch because they do really great work. So I've never had any issues with any of the dental work that I've ever gotten at this dentist office. So I don't want to like push my luck, leave as a patient, go somewhere else, and then have to like come crawling back kind of thing. So I'm just going to stick with this dentist for now, unless I get better insurance. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, just finding any like doctors offices and all that kind of stuff is a job in itself, because when I went to find this dentist, you wouldn't believe how many offices I had to call, ask if they took my insurance. All of the offices I called that do take my insurance weren't accepting new patients. Like, this was the only place that I could get into that wasn't that place down the road that does shoddy work. I can help. Next time you go to the dentist, I could call you on Insta and just talk and talk and talk. It will not only take your anxiety away, but probably also put you to sleep. Aww. That's definitely like, every time I go to an office, if I have to sit and wait, I get such bad anxiety. But if I had somebody to talk to, like, I don't have such bad anxiety. That's why there's certain appointments that I'll sometimes drag my friend Jess along with, and vice versa. Like when she has to go an hour away for appointments, she always like if her husband can't go with her, she'll call me and ask me what I'm doing for the day. And if I'm free, I usually go with her to her appointments. Just because it's so much nicer to be able to have someone to sit and wait with you. If it works for you, definitely stick with it. Yes, for sure. Yeah, waiting causes anxiety for sure. That's what happened at my other appointment. I would have already had these teeth pulled already, but they had me waiting for like an hour. And I was getting more and more and more anxious. So I was like, I can't keep sitting here. And it would have been a whole another hour or more that I would have had to sit there because there were still 5 people ahead of me. So my dentist is very nice and does great work, but dang, I usually have over an hour wait. Yes, I hate that. Like, I understand why they overbook, because there are a lot of people that are rude and just don't show up to their appointments and don't call and let them know that they're not showing up to their appointments and whatnot. So they overbook so they can avoid like gaps in between and stuff. But when everybody shows up to their appointment, it's chaos and a long, 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 long wait. And it's ridiculous sometimes. The personality is really important. I won't go to a rude person. Me neither. No. I've switched doctors before because same with my husband. There was this one doctor that basically like thought of him as an addict, even though he's not. Like, he had an anxiety attack one year. He was working like really long hours and it was just crazy. And on his day off, he sat down to like relax and started like having like chest pains and not being able to breathe and stuff like that. And he had never had an anxiety attack before, so he thought he was having a heart attack. I was driving him to the hospital, and then we had to pull over at a police station because it was getting worse. And I called 911. The ambulance took him, and then I drove over and met him at the hospital. And then he was like, they said it was an anxiety attack. And then like the following week he made an appointment to try to get like because they were happening more frequently. He was trying to get an anxiety medication to help him, regulate it. And they gave him, I believe, like Valium at the hospital. So that's what he was like, that worked to help, get things like back to normal. So that's what he asked for at the doctor's office. And that one doctor just basically treated him like, are you just saying that to get drugs and stuff like that? And he was like, no, I don't like the way that they were talking to me. So he ended up, like, he had a different doctor than me and the kids. And then he ended up just switching over to our doctor, who we've had this doctor, I think, ever since Royce was born. Because I know Brooklyn had a really different pediatrician when she was younger. But I'm pretty sure we've had this doctor ever since Royce was born, and she's amazing. I love her. I will never switch unless she leaves the practice. So she's not judgy. Always listens to our concerns. Doesn't try to push medications. She's fantastic. I kept telling doctors my brother was really sick, and they acted like it was nothing. Come to find out, stage 4 cancer, and passes away waiting. Passes away within. Aw, I'm so sorry. That's why I feel like second opinions, third opinions, fourth opinions, they're all really important. If your concerns are not being heard and they're not running testing for everything to try to figure out the issue, if they're telling you that it's all in your head and that you're crazy and whatever, that's not the right doctor for you. Like, you definitely need to find a doctor that hears everything that you say, listens to all your concerns, takes everything seriously, and yeah, because it's very important to find a doctor that is right for you. Because there are definitely, I feel like I don't know what it is, but with women are the hardest people to get their voices heard when it comes to the medical field. Like, I don't know how many people like have said, "Oh, don't be," not to me specifically. Like, I've always had great doctors, but I can't tell you how many people I've heard, like women, I've heard say that they're told oh, that's not that bad, or this and that. Like, you definitely need to be heard, especially as a woman. I carried him to multiple doctors, then finally hospital where we found good doctors. Aww. Like, I don't understand doctors that don't try to find everything. Like, why are you in the medical field if someone comes in saying there's something wrong? Like, I don't know. I feel like us as humans, we know our bodies better than anybody. We've lived in our bodies our entire lives. If something feels wrong and if something is off, we can sense it, we know it. So why are doctors telling us, no, that's not what you're feeling, or no, there's nothing wrong with you, when clearly something's wrong and there is? Like, just because you can't see it doesn't mean that something isn't wrong. Like, why aren't you running tests and all that stuff? Like, I understand things are expensive, but like, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way when there's doctors that are like, we don't need to run any tests. You're fine. You like, how do you know that things are fine unless you look? Like, I don't know. It's crazy for sure. Yes. Like, I don't understand it. Why do you go to school for so many years, spend so much money for schooling for 8 years, and then when you become a doctor, you don't do everything you can to help your patients. Like, you're definitely in the wrong field if you're not advocating for your patients. Like, even if a patient comes in, like, if I was a doctor, even if a patient comes in that I have a feeling and I know that they're exaggerating, like, I would still run tests and look and, you know, just to give them peace of mind, you know? Because I would hate to be wrong and then send a patient home and then have them come back and be like, yeah, I got a second opinion and this is wrong with me. You know? Like, I wouldn't want that on my conscience. Maybe some of them just have lost their passion on the way. Yeah, I can see that. Being a doctor is an extremely hard profession. Like, you have to deal with sick people, you have to deal with dying people, you have to deal with, like, and then losing a patient. That would weigh very, very heavy on me. That's one of the reasons why I can never work in the medical field is I have too much compassion. Like, I don't know how to separate the two. You know, I don't know how to disassociate myself with somebody and not feel their pain and all that. Another reason I can't work in the medical field is I'm a hypochondriac, and being around sick people all day, I would feel sick myself. And I could never work in the medical field because I cannot handle vomit or poop. I can barely handle it with my own children, let alone a complete stranger. So, yes, lots of reasons why I could never work in the medical field. The same thing with my husband when I told a doctor my husband needed a sleep test. Aw. That would be the right thing to do, but doctors get the godlike syndrome. Yeah, I feel that too. Definitely. And then we switched docs a year later, and then he ended up having a sleep test. Has obstructive sleep apnea. Oh my goodness. I told him I felt like I saved his life. This was back in 2020. Yeah, you can get a lot of bad health problems can come from sleep apnea. My aunt was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and it was stemmed from sleep apnea and her being diagnosed with it, but then never having the CPAP machine. And then when she finally got the CPAP machine, it was too late. And it was aggressive. It was very aggressive. And when she finally passed away, she didn't know anybody. She was mute. She didn't speak. She could barely feed herself. It was really, really a sad thing to watch her deteriorate like that. And my grandmother had dementia, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as my aunt's Alzheimer's. It was just, when my grandmother passed away, and she lived to be 103, by the way. When she passed away, she knew and could recognize some people still, even with her dementia. And she did not get dementia until her really late 90s. It was like, she was like 98 when she started getting signs of it. With all that has happened, I have decided to volunteer in nursing homes to visit with people who don't get visitors. Aw, that is so sweet. This whole discussion is making me anxious. And I can't make jokes to lighten things up because it's not something to joke about. Aw, I'm sorry. Okay, let's lighten it up. Yeah, every once in a while in my lives, we get into like some dark subjects. You are a hero. I couldn't. It would make me sad. Aw. Dark is good, sad is not good. Aw. You have been creating some nice items. Aw, thank you. I just finished up, but I need to do the lid toppers. I just finished up a Evil Queen, the Evil Queen from Snow White, and a Hello Kitty cup. And then the Evil Queen cup for the lid topper, I'm putting a crown, like a little crown on top. I had to order them from Amazon because I couldn't find them anywhere in any store that I looked at. So I wound up just ordering a pack of like, I think there was 12 of them, 6 gold, 6 silver. So I'll be able to use them for other things as well, and other lid toppers, or if anyone else wants an Evil Queen one. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. And it's supposed to be delivered on Monday. So I just need to hot glue that to the lid and then use my UV resin, which shouldn't take me long, and do that. And then I just bought a little Hello Kitty figurine that I'm going to put on the other lid topper. And I put this like, they're like, I don't know if it's not out yet, the video, but I bought this bag of ice, like fake ice. I have the square ice, but I bought like misshaped ice is what it's called, I guess, irregular shaped. It's like not your typical, it's like when you get crushed ice. I got a bag of that, but it's not the clear. It was pink and gold. So I put some pink and gold of the crushed ice things on the sides of the lid so that I can still open and close the lid. And then I'm going to put the Hello Kitty like right in the middle. I'm going to stick her on the piece that you move back and forth. But in the middle, so that you can still like use the grippy things to be able to open and close it. So I need to glue on that figure and then UV resin her down, and then they'll be done. I've been enjoying your resin content so much. Thank you. Hey, Ange. I know I've ordered a few cups from you. My next one is going to be in memory of my brother. Just got to figure it out. Oh, I can definitely do that. There's someone else that is ordering, that put in an order for an in-memory cup for her parents that passed away. So that one I'll be making pretty soon. I'm down to 2 tumblers left. So today, I was waiting for one more payment to come through on my Poshmark before I could order them, but I ordered today. a 25 pack of tumblers, so I can start on 2 more tumblers that aren't the big 30-ounce size. But I can start on 2 more tumblers until those get here. So I may have to take like a day or two pause until my new tumblers show up. But other than that. And then I'm also working on Renee. By the way, your under the sea tumbler that I did is like super popular. Although people have been ordering it with glitter, the glitter ombre that I did, but the design, the cutout designs and all that, this will be my fourth, since your order, my fourth under the sea tumbler that I'm doing. So I'm working on another under the sea tumbler, but this time they wanted the glitter ombre to be gold and purple instead of that blue color. So I'm working on that too. I just have to put the vinyls on that tomorrow. And I'm working on the Starbucks cup that I said I was going to. So tomorrow should be like around 5 days since I what is that called? Did the spackle design with the whipped cream. So tomorrow I need to coat that in UV resin and then attach it to the lid. And then I'm going to be doing something a little different. I explained it earlier in this live, but I'm going to be, I already spray painted the cup in the like coffee color, but then I'm going to kind of ombre white at the top, and then I'm going to coat it in resin, and then I'm going to use my alcohol inks, the ones that I got in the wood colors, since they're like brown coffee colors too. And I'm going to use some of those and then my white to make it look like it's like swirled coffee mixed with the creamer. And then I'm going to put a Starbucks logo on it. And then I'm going to do a caramel drip coming from the rim. And then I'm going to drizzle some caramel onto the whipped cream. I don't think I'm going to put sprinkles on this time. I may put a little bit of glitter on top, like a little bit of holographic or white glitter. And then, yeah, that'll be my Starbucks cup. The striping alone will make me go broke. Or the shipping alone. Shipping for what? Oh. I wish I could afford to get a tumbler from you. I would totally do Stephen King's The Shining themed. Aww. And yes, the shipping alone to ship to you, boo, would be extremely expensive. They've got to not make it so expensive to do international shipping, because that's ridiculous. Or maybe something like you did for Melissa and Paco that was so sweet and pretty. I can definitely do that. Unpopular opinion. I like the not Stanley. Oh, I have no idea anything about The Shining. I've never seen The Shining. Yay, I have good ideas. You do have good ideas, Renee. I love your cups. When's the next creations video? Tomorrow! My ringtone is the Here's Johnny. You should see my creations when I upcycle pieces of old furniture. Aww. You should do a YouTube. Do you have a channel, Renee? Or do you do Instagram or anything like that with your creations? If you don't, you should. It will be cheaper maybe to ship myself to the US. Probably. I used to have somebody, I think. There was somebody that used to buy from me. I forget what it was that I used to ship out. I don't remember. But there was somebody that used to buy stuff from me that, oh, no. Okay, I have not done one of these in a while, but my giveaways, there was somebody that used to enter my giveaways, but my giveaways were always US only. But she would enter them even though she lived in, I don't remember if it was Canada or the UK, but she had a friend that lived in the US that she would give me her address. So I would ship it to the US and then her friend would give it to her. I don't know how that worked though. I don't know if her friend like paid the expensive shipping to ship it to her, or if her friend would like visit her and like bring it to her. Oh no, just sell locally. Oh, you sell them. But you should do like, you should record, like do videos of like you repurposing them, because that's always fun to watch. I love watching videos of people that take something that's like super plain and old and then repurpose it into something like really cool. Like I watched somebody take a bus, like an old bus, gut it, and repurpose it into a camper. Yes, I've also done custom work for people also. That is really cool. We have to see your creations. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Definitely think about it. Think about starting a channel with that, because I would totally watch that. I would subscribe to that. Creativity inspires. We need to be inspired. Otherwise, just problems and headaches and stuff. I've definitely been expired. I've definitely been inspired by a lot of things, and yeah. I've gone down a lot of rabbit holes and then bit off more than I can chew, trying to do too many things at once. I love all of your videos. Aw, thank you. I know exactly what you mean. So many things interest me. You're right? It started out with me picking up an old dresser and fixing it for myself. Then it just became a passion. Aw, that's kind of how I started with resin. I saw my friend Jess do it, and I was like, that looks like so much fun. And then I started doing it myself, and then I'm like, I have no use for the things that I'm making. So I'm like, why not try to sell them? Although some of the things that I have been making, I'm like, okay, I need to make that for myself, but I love fixing all kinds of things. That's awesome. Let me check my battery. My battery is really low. Oh, I can't. But it flashed that I was only on 10% like 10 minutes ago. So my battery is going to die like really, really soon. So I am going to get off here. And I'm going to go to sleep. But I will catch all of you guys, hopefully all of you guys, in my next live next Saturday. If we need a fixer, Renee is the woman for the job. Yeah, we also need sleep, inspiration, and sleep. Yes, sleep. I'm going to sleep as soon as I get off here. But I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you all in my next live. Bye.